end of the day. How cute is this? It is so dinky. I'm not sure what they are actually, but I've also found a bolete here. Again, I'm not entirely sure what type this is, but you can see the polypores. You can actually see where it's been eaten away at, like how they slide. It's almost like a crumpet, isn't it? It's quite cool. Anyway, what a lovely find. They are so cute. I know I normally get some wax caps around this area. I don't think that's them, but it's quite hard to tell at the minute. They've kind of worked themselves in a bit of a ring all around this tree. I did actually look up the name of this tree last year because I was fascinated by it, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. But I think that's one with all the little berries that grow on it. But yeah, they're all around here. It rained yesterday, so that's why I wanted to get back here as soon as I could, and I'm quite chuffed because I found a load of boletes already. But look here, look at this monster. That is a slug. That is absolutely massive. Let's see what else we can find. This isn't sponsored by Coffee One, by the way. What have we got here? Oh wow, it's got white gills. What is? Birch tree here. I like to look around the birch tree for birch bolete, and we also normally have some russulas growing around here, which I'm guessing that's what the remnants of that is actually. What else? The reason why they get like that most of the time is because lots and lots of different types of animals like to eat those. I like to look under specific trees and things because I know what I'm going to find roughly in what sort of areas. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out for certain things specifically. And like there's some moss grass just around the corner, and I tend to find a lot of coral mushrooms and things like that in there, and wax caps slightly later on. So just scanning this area again because this is where we found the fairy ring last week. They're doing alright considering how long they've been there. Well, there's some honey mushrooms I found over on that tree over there last year, and I haven't found this year. But bracket fungi don't tend to have the same sort of patterns as that. It's really becoming apparent how close we are getting to autumn now. The squirrels have been munching away and collecting their nuts. There's left lots of little messes underneath all the little trees. The other very autumnal thing right now is the rugby players. Every time this time of year you can hear all of the shouting either from that side or from this side. So probably go over there later and check that one out. With binoculars. Oh, did you record that? You twat. Right, I've actually just found something. I think they're honey mushrooms. They're quite a distance, so I can't really tell completely. So come on. I've seen this before. It's this looks like marshmallow. I couldn't tell you the Latin name off the top of my head actually, but I do know what it is because I know I found it before. But, these are quite weird. I'm just going to pull a little bit off for you guys so you can have a look. Yeah, quite fibrous, aren't they? That's quite cool, isn't it? So yeah, these tend to grow a lot around tree stumps. Yeah, there's some around here. I've just had a quick look. They're a birch polypore, and they've got a really interesting smell to them. It's like almost like sweet aniseed. How interesting. Oh wow. So it's all around the tree here. And this is a dead tree. And there's a load around here. Yeah, it's eating away at the bark. It's actually coming off in chunks. Oh wow. Right, I'm not going to touch it too much. These are spitters. Ooh. There's lots of lichen in there, and I've actually just spotted something else, I believe. So let's go and check it out. Mushroom over here. Right, it's really difficult to tell the difference between panther caps and blushers. So I'm just going to go ahead. You know, it might actually be closer to a panther cap, but I am not entirely sure. It's an amanita of some kind, we know that much. It's got like a little skirt around there. See? The big difference between the blushers and the panther caps is the toxicity. So it's something that you'd really want to know what you're doing before eating. But I don't know. Oh, I've just found what I think is a common puffball here actually. It's covered in dirt, but yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that seems about right. It was growing out the soil here. Anyway, what else can we find? I just found some more blusher mushrooms there. They're smooth compared to the others. They haven't quite got their this sort of rough surface on them just yet, but they have in the centre, so that's how I can tell what they are at the minute. Right, come on then. Oh, I found another pile of blushers here, and this is what they look like when they're really dinky. So they're like yellow almost, and then they turn this really awesome brown colour with these spots. Oh, I've got flame on. Yeah, so it's really cool. Right, let's see what else we can find. A russula here, and like, if you can just see if you look at the blusher mushrooms next to it, how like similar they could look if you didn't know what you were doing. And people just kind of assume that if it's growing in the exactly the same space, it'll be the same one. Which is how a lot of poisonings happen, because like only 3% of mushrooms are actually poisonous. But some can just look so much like another. Unless you actually got it home and sliced it apart and did the spore prints and things, sometimes you just don't know. Even experts like struggle with identifying things unless they've actually got a decent enough picture of underneath the mushroom, the top of the mushroom, and the area it's found in. So this is actually like really fascinating and like so poetic to me, because this is actually like a secondary mould growing on top of the mushroom, which I think is just absolutely cool. So yeah, mushrooms do grow mould. Blushes. So we've got 3 different stages here. We've got, 4 actually. There we go. That one's just popping out the ground. That one's just coming up. They've got more of a yellowy tinge to those. Wow. We found these are the ones we found the other day that we weren't sure what they were. Right, we found these the other day and I couldn't identify them. But now they're coming up, they look like some sort of like funnel mushroom. So if I just go pick a bit apart. So it's got gills, we know that. not seeing any liquid come out of those. So, I wonder what they smell like. They don't really smell of much, so I'm not vague on what they actually are, but they're very pretty. I found these last week, if you remember, in the mulch. Red caps and white stems. So that's something I've got to look up because I never got round to identifying those before. So I'll have a look later. I'm actually, I'm hoping to find some giant puffballs because I actually found some around this section about 2 years ago now. They were absolutely perfect, but they were behind a fence in a bush and I could not reach them. And oh wow, that is amazing. I actually got my magnifying glass out for this one. I was quite excited because I thought it was an Amanita virosa, or an Amanita phalloides, which is a destroyer. Amanita virosa is a destroying angel, which is a deadly Amanita, and Death Cap is Amanita phalloides, which again is deadly. So I thought that's what I found here is an Amanita, but looking under here on those two, you would normally expect to see a skirt or veil on this section here, which it doesn't have. Yeah, so the closest thing that I found was a stubble rosegill. Apparently they grow in stubbled kind of, I don't know, area kind of thing. So yeah, that's that's the best that I could come up with on that one, but either way it's an absolutely stunning find. I did just spot the giant puffball that I was looking for, but it's disintegrated and it's all mouldy now and it's definitely not edible, so we won't be picking that one. If you enjoyed my video, and I hope you found it informative as well, hit like and subscribe.